Hello everyone and welcome to episode 2 of the WMMA 5 series here on the channel. It is the modern UFC save, and it is UFC Fight Night, Curtis Blaydes versus Junior Dos Santos as our main event for that show. Of course, a real life event that happened as far as at the end of January of 2020. For this card, I really, compared to the previous episode, which I want to thank everyone for liking and supporting. Obviously, with the intro series, you want that to get a lot of good traction. It seemed like it did. Hopefully, that continues here with episode 2. But for this card, I really have no memory of it, which is weird. Because I definitely would have watched the main and co-main. Because, as far as, even though Curtis Blaydes is more of a wrestler, just him and Dos Santos is a pretty unique matchup, obviously, as far as grappler versus striker. But Curtis Blaydes' striking is a little bit better than probably most wrestlers at that time, but it's definitely improved. Maybe at that time it still wasn't as great as it probably could have been, but I think a lot of it too, as I was kind of afraid Dos Santos was going to get wrestle-fucked, and as far as it seemed like the UFC were trying to kind of get his old ass out of there, which is unfortunate. But this is going to be an interesting card. The co-main event, Rafael Dos Anjos and Michael Chiesa, which that's another fight I remember wanting to see. I just don't remember how it went down. So that's going to be interesting to see, as far as there's not going to be a lot of comparing the real event to this one, because I just don't remember what really happened a whole lot on that card. I do remember Blaydes winning. I don't even remember who wins between Dos Anjos and Michael Chiesa, so that's going to be interesting to see. We do have one piece of mail, though, that's just why we're on this screen, as Paul Felder was injured during training. He tore his ACL, which is unfortunate, because that was, the original main event of the real fight night that was happening in New Zealand, Dan Hooker versus Paul Felder, as Damir Ismagulov wanted to, as far as a lot of people were lobbying for that fight, but I just felt like him specifically fit that fight a little bit more, so it will be him versus Dan Hooker on that card, which is main evented by Jared Cannonier versus Robert Whittaker, which is a super fun fight that I cannot wait to see. So I just wanted to talk about that before we get into the card and all the festivities that is this fight night. Our first fight night, though, of the series. That should be fun. Yeah, we talked about the main and co-main. And then Lena Lansberg versus Sarah McMann, and then Josh Emmett versus Arnold Allen, which is a hell of a fight there. That is going to be a barn burner. So the idea of this was, that was originally supposed to be the fight, I believe, on that fight night, but either Emmett got hurt, and then Arnold Allen's opponent withdrew as well, and it just turned into a completely different fight. But this would have been awesome, as far as to see this, as as far as that's going to be a banger for sure. And Alex Perez taking on Jordan Espinosa, and that's the opening fight on the card. As for the prelim, Angela Hill taking on Hannah Cifers. Poor Angela Hill. She got her fucking ass beat, though, last week in real life here against Mackenzie Dern. Hopefully she does well, because it's a unique relationship that I have about Angela, because I think she's a super sweet person. I think she is obviously very, very tough. She is a tough-ass woman, that is for sure. I do like her as far as having a Muay Thai background, but also just a fun story. Didn't perform any martial arts or anything like that until the age of 24 years old. After college, she just took a Muay Thai class, I think as like an exercise class, and ended up being in the UFC 4 years later and being in the Ultimate Fighter. Wild, just a wild little story. But I believe she beat Hannah Cifers here. I don't think she finished her, but I think she won by unanimous decision. I do remember that, because I think she went on a good little win streak during the pandemic, because she fought 4 times in 2020. It was pretty wild. She was just going through everybody. And then the next fight, as far as Narimani taking on Nick Lentz as the 155 contest. Luke Sanders and Montel Jackson At 135, Herbert Burns against Nate Landwehr. And as far as that's a 145 contest, and then Bevan Lewis and Alan Edmondrovsky. I don't know why I could not get that out, but that 185 middleweight contest there to kick off the prelim. So just a little bit different than the pay-per-view cards the fight nights are going to be. It's going to be 10 fights instead of, we usually do about 11 or 12 for the pay-per-views. Just it felt like we needed to do something a little bit different. But the fight nights, you're not going to see a whole lot of. As far as we're going to cut down the schedule a little bit. Mainly because I think it's going to help the UFC a little bit. I think kind of the one big thing with the UFC right now, as far as in 2023, their roster is gotten... It's not at the point where it probably used to be. We could get away with having a card every weekend. Obviously, it's just funny that we're saying that because obviously they took off Memorial Day weekend with no card. But some of those fight night cards, you're just like, oh boy. But they end up being like fun fights, you know, and that's kind of the fun thing about being someone that tries to watch every UFC event or any MMA event. I just try to see it. There's usually, even if somebody's not really promoting it heavy, there's still going to be some good shit. I mean, the Angela Hill fight in Mackenzie Dern's a great example. People were shitting all over that that fight, when it was scheduled. And that was just obviously it was a one-sided affair, but boy, she took a beating and a half to see and to last all 5 rounds. And it was an exciting fight too. Like there was some good moments back and forth at times, and then there was other times just Mackenzie Dern just threw out a lot of frustration that she had on her ex-husband onto poor Angela Hill. I think it's going to happen with Tim Elliott as well in his fight coming up this Saturday. But boy, oh boy, this card though here with Junior Dos Santos and Curtis Blaydes. Blaydes does have about a 25-pound advantage. Think he's a better wrestler. If Dos Santos can catch him though, standing, that would be massive to see. As we'll take a look at the analytics. Same weight advantage. First time they have fought though against these two. This is the 9th time Dos Santos is main evented. 2nd time for Curtis Blaydes as Curtis Razor Blaydes here in this main event. It's funny, you know, as far as usually wrestlers and just kind of me as a fan. There's some wrestlers that I'll love, but I would say like 9 out of 10 times I'm not going to be a fan of. Curtis Blaydes, though, I mean, he won me over with the Mortal Kombat theme music. As far as coming out to that, it is pretty awesome. He seems like a nice guy. He's trying to develop his striking. I don't know why he tried to stand up with Sergey Pavlovich, though. I mean, I'm happy he did, because I put a lot of money on Sergey Pavlovich, but because he's just a savage. He's an absolute mauler in there. But Curtis Razor Blaydes should go through this pretty seamlessly, which is funny because he is not the favorite going into this. It's Junior Dos Santos in the game because, yeah, this was really a big opportunity for Razor Blaydes at the time. Gets a big win over Dos Santos and kind of elevates him into the top echelon, top 5, basically of the UFC heavyweight division. Which was massive, massive. Because a lot of people probably expected him. It's weird because you kind of look at what's happening with the UFC heavyweight division. Because you look at kind of what happens. And Ngannou becomes champion. And a lot of people are just kind of like, probably him and Razor Blaydes. That's probably going to give him his toughest matchup. Now, of course, Francis is gone. Now John Jones is champ. And I would still say Curtis is a good enough opponent for him, but I don't know. It's obviously John's gonna retire because he's not. There's no way you're gonna take that Sergey Pavlovich fight. Pavlovich is a savage, absolute savage. But that's the first time. If they do have John Jones and Sergey Pavlovich, I would say he's not the strong favorite in John Jones. But that's just hypotheticals. Thing of that. But yeah, Curtis Blaydes, I want to say he had, as far as from what I remember, the Ngannou fight at 141. This was, they were really trying to give Francis and Curtis Blaydes a bit of a tough matchup because obviously to see the win streak there from Curtis Blaydes, he'd been on a 5 kind of pay-per-view fight run. The Alexei Olenek fight, the Mark Hunt fight, the Alistair Overeem fight. he's racking up some wins, and they gave him, as far as the main event for Blaydes and Ngannou, the rematch. As far as, because the first time around it was the doctor stoppage in the second. He just could never get over the hump of Francis Ngannou, but still 28 years old. He's 6'4". He's going through a weird phase as far as in real life, but let's see what happens here as far as in this save for Junior Santos, though. 21-6, 15-5, just lost to Ngannou as well. Yeah, I forgot he beat Derek Lewis and Tai Tuivasa as well. He went on a bit of a run after the Stipe loss. Ben Rothwell win. They lost to Overeem. That was back in the Fox era of the UFC. And just such a... Yeah, that first UFC on Fox show, I remember that very, very vividly. And him knocking out Cain Velasquez. Yeah, the rematch as well. I wish they did it, as far as that trilogy, I felt like they just rushed it a little bit. I get that it was an exciting matchup, but having one kind of every year kind of hurt it a little bit, but that was just me at the time. It's crazy, though, as far as him beating. You kind of look at Dos Santos' resume. He always had like a crazy resume. Beating Fabricio Verdum, Krokop, Stefan Struve, Gonzaga, Nelson, Shane Carwin, and then obviously Kane and Frank Mir, Mark Hunt, Stipe, Derek Lewis, Tai Tuivasa. Like, he's beaten some top guys for sure. Great they didn't beat Overeem, though, but obviously Alistair Overeem, an absolute legend as far as from a stand-up perspective. But yeah, that's going to be a fun fight. I think that's going to go over really well in the safe. It's Rafael Dos Anjos and Michael Maverick Chiesa as Dos Anjos, ranked 6th in the welterweight division. Michael Chiesa ranked 19th. First time they fought. Dos Anjos, big favorite in this one. Of course, he had the mustache for Rafael Dos Anjos. I always love that he grew that out. It's crazy to think that what a weird kind of career he had, because here's a guy who was a lightweight, pretty dominant. Was beating Nate Diaz, beating Anthony Pettis, knocked out Cerrone, and they were gonna do, of course, as far as Dos Anjos and Conor McGregor, he gets injured, Nate Diaz fills it in, and that's, the rest is history, pretty much. But, losing to Khabib, Eddie Alvarez, Tony Ferguson, it's just wild to think that he fought, like, some tough-ass dudes at lightweight, then he jumps up to welterweight, and again, just fighting some of the top echelon guys, like Colby Covington, Kamaru Usman, Leon Edwards, like, again, just tough dudes, tough fucking guys that Dos Anjos always faces. But yeah, as far as, and they had the Clay Guida fight, I remember that. That was a war, from what I remember. UFC 117, as far as, that's Anderson Silva, Chael Sonnen. That's still one of the craziest fights ever. I forgot him and Jeremy Stevens fought at 91. Huh. And he got knocked out too. Yeah, Jeremy Stevens. Poor Jeremy Stevens. As far as, oh boy, just the wrong end of a punchline. Which is tough because he's actually that would have been a fun fight too. Him and McGregor, because like he does have some power and they'd have a fun kind of brawl. But unfortunately, that was kiboshed rather quickly by Conor. And, I think it's going to be a fun fight, though. I think that's a good main and co-main. We'll see how Lena Lansberg and Sarah McMann are going to do as far as the elbow queen herself and Lena Lansberg. Both are world-ranked bantamweights in the women's division, 13th and 14th. Lena Lansberg's won 3 of her last 5. Sarah McMann hasn't won in a couple of years. From what I remember, I believe this was her last fight on her contract. They kind of fed her to the wolves. So 11-5, 5-5 as a whole on a 2-fight losing streak. I believe she then lost this fight and they cut her after that. But again, kind of fought Ronda, Miesha Tate, Amanda Nunes. He has some killers for sure in the mid 2010s, and then as of late, I think just age and just everything kind of caught up to her. 59, or 59 or 39. Up there in age, for sure. And Lena Lansberg, 10-4, 37 though, so they are kind of stylistically match up pretty well. But she was as far as the Muay Thai career, 37-11. She's a savage, an absolute savage for sure. Yeah, I remember the Cyborg fight. Boy, that's a tough ass person to have in your debut, though. Her and Cyborg. Other than that, the Aspen Ladd fight, I vaguely remember. I definitely saw the Yana fight as well, because I saw UFC 229, but I don't remember that fight off the top of my head. Fascinating. Fascinating to think that, just when you debut against Cyborg, that's a tough hill to kind of mount. And, she's... It's tough because I think a lot of the women's division at that time, there were so many great, talented girls as far as from a stand-up perspective, but the gap was pretty thin as far as like the actual elite strikers in the women's scene, to where you could really get a good chance. But just I think a lot of them though, with that Muay Thai background or a kickboxing background, if you matched up against those wrestlers like Amisha Tate or even a judo background like Ronda, it was, you're probably going to end up losing, just as far as from that perspective of kind of the MMA rules, kind of a lot of times favoriting, especially, the UFC rules, favoriting more of the wrestlers more than they think, because you obviously can't knee somebody trying to go for a takedown if they got a knee down. But, I think that's going to be an interesting fight for Sir McMann, that's for sure. Maybe she'll pull it off, though. It's crazy that this fight is happening here, because obviously these two right now, as far as in 2023, are just very, very exciting members of the featherweight division. Josh Emmett, of course, undefeated right now, and Arnold Allen went on a tear before the Max Holloway fight. Josh Emmett, though, finished 3 of his last 5 opponents, as far as both are world-ranked featherweights, 12th for Emmett, 19th for Allen. Probably should have had this a little bit higher on the card, because I think this is going to be a banger. Arnold Allen, though, has won 4 of his last 5 fights by decision. He is the strong favorite, which is interesting, because, of course, Josh Emmett at 15-2, fought Jeremy Stevens, fought Desmond Green. As far as Ricardo Lamos, Michael Johnson fight, I remember that Michael Johnson fight, because that Barboza Gaethje main event, that was very much a circle on the calendar fight for sure. I'm trying to think, I thought I saw that Fox card. I tried to watch a lot of the Fox cards, because most of them were pretty solid, plus it was, on TV, so tried not to miss out on them. But Josh Emmett, that's a good challenge for him with Arnold Allen, because he is obviously on the rise at 15-1, 6-0 in the UFC. Just beat Gilbert Melendez at 239 last year. I don't remember that fight, but that was very much a feeding, which tends to happen in the UFC when the aging veteran just gets fed to the new guy. And we'll see. I think he's going to be a little too much for Josh Emmett. We'll see, though. Could be wrong. And Alex Perez against Jordan Espinosa, as Espinosa 16th in the flyweight division, Perez 19th in the flyweight division. Perez is the strong favorite with 7-0 on the broadcast staff picks. 22-5, though, at 26 years old. That is a lot of fights. That is nuts. They had the Joseph Benavidez fight that was at the finale of the Tough 28 show. Don't remember any of these other fights. Oh no, the Barboza Gaethje fight. Yeah. Boy, I don't remember Mark De La Rosa. It was rated fantastic, though. So it must have been pretty good, but I don't remember it. But yeah, as far as with having that type of fight experience, which, Jordan Espinosa, though, 14-6-1 is not bad, but he lost in his debut. Well, that's wrong. Yeah, he should be 0-1, because he won his debut, but lost his previous fight. As, it should be 1-1 in the UFC. The last fight was in August, though, 2019. I forgot to turn that down. Let's go ahead and do that now. Perfect, but, a little flyweight contest to open up the show. This is going to be an interesting one. I would probably hedge my bet toward Alex Perez as Angela Overkill Hill against Shockwave, Anna Clifford. as Angela Hill with that reach advantage, that's probably going to be too much for her. You know, as far as when you have that reach, at somebody with that Muay Thai background that can lay in some punches. And the one thing about Angela Hill, she might not knock you out, but she will land a shitload of strikes. Her kind of problem, I saw it with the Michelle Waterson fight, a lot of the times, she was kind of just landing shots to land shots. There's really no methodical, like, combos that were kind of thought out, if that makes any sense. You compare her to Michelle Waterson, who actually was doing legitimate combos and was actually trying to kind of match things up in a like logical sense. I think that's why she won that fight too. And plus, I had it 3-2. Michelle Waterson. But yeah, obviously, if you're new to the UFC, you're probably like, how does somebody that has a 10-7 record still be in the UFC here? One thing's for sure, she fought a lot of tough opponents in the beginning. And plus, I think with her not being so skilled, and then after the, I want to say it was, after the Rose fight, they cut her. And she went to Invicta. She won there, won the belt, and went on a bit of a tear, and they signed her back. And again, Jessica Andrade, tough fight. The Courtney Casey fight, she definitely should have won. Then she had 3 more split decisions after that, but I thought, for sure, she, I remember that, Xian Yan fight, as far as that was a banger for sure. The Ashley Yoder fight was another one I remember. I definitely saw that both these, the Cormier Gustafsson fight, and I could have swore I saw that too, Cain Velasquez and Verdum, and I remember that, which is odd because I as far as I don't remember her taking on Torres, but she definitely did, as she lost. Which, she's an interesting, and just the love-hate relationship with her, because she is someone that can, obviously, she's now, as far as seeing this in 2023, she is now, as far as the kind of most, one of the, if not the most decorated strawweights in women's MMA, well, maybe not women's MMA, but the UFC's women's strawweight division, as far as she's landed the most strikes, she's fought the most fights, she's probably been in there the most as far as ring time. She rarely ever gets finished. She can take a fucking pounding, as we just saw with the Dern fight, and she's, again, I think just at being so young at the beginning of her career, as far as from a fight IQ and all that jazz, because like most of these girls had some type of wrestling background, and they just kind of used that edge over her. Rarely was she ever put up against an actual striker. She did, later on with Michelle Waterson. Even then, Michelle's obviously, she's been doing this for a long time and just has a higher IQ fight-wise, which is tough, because I think Angela Hill, thinking in an old timeline, things could have went her way, but just was not in the cards for her. But she should beat Hannah Clifford here, who is on a undefeated streak as far as after losing to Macy Barber in her debut. But obviously Macy Barber, tough opponent to start off with. But a little split decision win, a unanimous decision win. This one's going to go the distance. I don't expect a finish in that one. As a nod, Narimani against Nick Lentz, as Nick Lentz should be the heavy favorite in this one. Should be a mauling for Nick Lentz. We'll see 30-10-2 with 1 no contest at 14-7-1 and 1 no contest. The 25th lightweight in the UFC. Just lost to Charles Oliveira back in May. Obviously, Charles, tough opponent, beat Gray Maynard. As far as he's fought Chad Mendez, he's fought Islam Machkovich as well. He fought some tough dudes. Tough dude. Yeah, I remember that one, obviously, and fucking Czech Congo and Pat Barry. Forget why there was a no contest. Was that overturned because of drug test, or? I'm trying to remember. Nonetheless, though, it's crazy they had the trilogy with Charles Oliveira. A lot of fight nights, a couple of pay-per-views, though. They had the Khabib, McGregor, as far as, just feeding poor Gray Maynard to Nick Lentz, as he dominated him in that fight, from what I remember. Narimani, which 12-3, 2-1, doesn't really have that big of a fight experience compared to, obviously, Nick Lentz. I will see. It was a he's a tank in there. He is a tank in there at featherweight, but I just don't see it happening for him over Nick Lentz. Cool Hands, Luke Sanders against Montel Quick Jackson. I'm actually really excited for this fight. Montel Jackson, though, with a 10-inch reach advantage, should be the very, very heavy favorite. As you can see there, having a 10-inch reach advantage is insane. Montel Jackson, though, 8-1. As far as he's should be 2-1 in the UFC. I don't know why their records are so fucked. But as far as he's always fought on pay-per-views, he had John Jones and Gustafson 2. Watched that at a friend's house. I'll always remember that card as well. So that was the Cyborg Nunes fight. Of course, John and Gustafson, and also Brian Keller and Montel Jackson. Which I remember Montel being very, very impressive in that fight. That was definitely the one I was like, oh, this guy's probably going to be a solid contender in the bantamweight division. But yeah, Cool Hand Luke Sanders has been around for a hot minute. Been since 2016. Fought some tough opponents. The Bararo and Ronnie Yaya, as far as back-to-back fights like that, are pretty interesting to see. But having that type of reach disadvantage, I just don't see how it's going to happen. And then Herbert, the Blaze Burns, against, as far as Nate the Train Landwehr, as it's pretty close though. Both guys are making their UFC debuts, which that should be wrong. Oh no, Herbert Burns, yep, he is making his debut. No Yi Jiu-Jitsu champion, of course, brother of Gilbert Burns, as he's more of the I would say he's got the better Jiu-Jitsu. Oh no, Gilbert's Jiu-Jitsu is pretty solid. Gilbert's just a much better striker, kind of more than anything. He not as more well-rounded as Gilbert. We'll just say that. And then for Nate, at 13-2, freestyle fighter. We'll see how he does. I don't know why I kept on looking at the fight history for both these guys, but that was going to be a fun opener. Or, not opener. It was going to be a fun prelim fight to see how each guy kind of start off their UFC career. Then Bevan, the Extraordinary Gentleman Lewis, which I've always loved that little nickname, against Alan Amedovski. Alan Amedovski is going to have a tough challenge, though. 5-inch reach advantage for Bevan Lewis. First time they have fought. This is, as far as Bevan and Lewis, though, 0-2. Needs a win. He did fight Uriah Hall, though. I remember that fight. He got knocked the fuck out. Yeah, that was back at the John Jones-Gustafson fight. 2, rather. I don't want to confuse anyone with the first one. But, yeah, that was unfortunate. Because I remember, I think he was... Uriah Hall, I don't think was... From what I remember, I could have swore he was either 1-1 or he was either 2-0 for Bevan Lewis. And Uriah Hall came back in the third, knocked him out. But yeah, Alan Amedovski has both guys looking for their first UFC win. As the last fight was in April of 2019 against Krzysztof Jotko. As I don't remember that fight at all, but that was Overeem and Olenix was the main event of that fight night. On UFC, ESPN Plus. Yeah, but they on North Carolina card here for, it's just funny, they just were at North Carolina in real life. So just kind of funny how full circle we have come. But Bevan, the Extraordinary Gentleman Lewis, at a minus 220 favorite. Both guys, have the 2 losses on the record. Obviously with the Jackson Wink MMA background. From a fight camp perspective, I think he's going to be the favorite. Plus the reach advantage, I think it's just going to be too much. Yamasaki's a referee. Fight begins. They come together and trade strikes. Nothing really comes of it. Lewis misses left jab. Glancing high kick. There's a left jab and a right cross, though, from Allen. As a flurry of 5 punches from Amedovski. As he sees 2 of them lands, but nothing but air on the big right. Here comes a takedown attempt. Doesn't get it, though. Nice sprawl. Pounds away and then able to land clean shots out. He's landing some massive right hands, and Mario Yamasaki's going to jump in and stop the fight in the first round. What a TKO win for Bevan, the Extraordinary Gentleman Lewis. So that's a major victory for sure. Gets his first win in the UFC, and as somebody at that size, at 6'3", 185, you're just going to be a matchup nightmare for a lot of those guys at 185. And, yeah, it proves it there. Was a pretty seamless win. And, yeah, just as far as thanks everyone connected to Jackson Wink MMA, if I've been prepared for the fight, and the sponsors for supporting him financially, he has to, he'd like to face next. He says that Abu Azatar would be someone that he'd like to compete against. Herbert the Blaydes Burns against Nate the Train Landwehr. Yeah, minus 110 for Herbert, plus 100 for Nate Landwehr as Clarksville, Tennessee. Brazilian, of course, for Herbert Burns. Both are 5'9", both 145. Fall of MMA, so you would suspect the guy at the fight camp is probably going to win. Yamasaki staying out there for this one. We're underway, and I don't think he's going to out-grapple Burns. That is a nice jab and a right hook, though. A look at Herbert Burns, though, fucking dealing with some big strikes. There's a jab. That's why, but another straight right that lands hard. Boy, he looks like he's been boxing with Gilbert as far as with these strikes. Wouldn't be surprised if this one ends in a knockout the way this is going. As there's a setup left jab that he can't hit, but he hit some of the straight right again. Oh wow, look at Nate with a grapple. As far as he got him against the ropes. Or up against the ropes, up against the cage. Got him as far as well, Burns wrestles back now. He's in control now. Here comes the takedown attempt. Oh wow, he gets taken down. This Burns, rather, as far as, let's see, clings very tightly to Burns, doesn't want to get caught in the submission from the bottom. Obviously, with a no-gi jiu-jitsu background, Herbert Burns very much comfortable on his back, as just going to lay and pray here from Nate Landwehr, as, the triangle choke from the bottom, and he's got it. Yeah, got caught. Got caught there. Herbert Burns, with a great win right at the end of the first round. Count him in the triangle. Yeah, Herbert Burns is a savage. Don't know what it is in the water with that family, but they are some savages. And he wants to fight Jigga. Oh my god. As, yeah, that's definitely grappler versus striker for sure, that matchup. That's a fun fight. We'll probably make that, actually. But he praised his team at Evolve MMA. All of his very responsible Hall of Fans are going to support him. Cool Land. Luke Sanders against Montel Quick Jackson. We might see all first round finishes here, the way this fight card's going at minus 580 the favor, which is probably isn't even more of the fucking 10-inch reach advantage. Steve Mazzagatti, our referee, ringside judges. Here we go, we're underway. Stepping forward, looking to begin the strike exchange. The counter left disconnect. Can't set up right cross. There's a left cross from Luke Saunders, who hits a hell of a shot there. He's doing a good job. There's Jackson now with a quick straight left. And both guys are really swinging for broke here. Now Luke Saunders looking for maybe potentially a shot, but a jab and a right hook from Jackson. He looks for the takedown. He's got it. It's a single leg. Oh, but he has his neck exposed, and here comes a guillotine, and he taps him out with that guillotine. Another first-round finish on the prelim as Montel Quick Jackson wins this one via guillotine, rather. So, yeah, that's a amateur mistake we've seen once or twice before. In the WMMA 5 simulators, a lot of guys leaving their neck exposed off the takedown. Guillotine choke. Thought that was going to be a knockout finish there going into that one, so I'm glad I did not place my money on a first round or second round knockout win on Montel Jackson, but he thanks all his sponsors and all of his fans who support him. Doesn't shout out Body Shop MMA, though, as Nick the Carney Lentz against Narimani. As Narimani at 5'8", 155. Nick Lentz 5'9", 155. Both men in their mid-30s. Fight experience definitely for Nick Lentz, though. Yamasaki's referee. We're going to keep the first-round prelim finishes going. We'll see. As there is 4 straight quick punches from Narimani. That is awesome. A jab is wide. Catches him with the right hook, though. Takedown attempt from Nick Lentz. He's got the takedown. Here comes a low lay and pray here. Yeah, you hate to see that, especially with how great of a, there we go, at least Yamasaki's going to stand him up, but just from how great this fight card has been, you thought that we could keep this momentum rolling, but that has not been the case. So now Narimani looking for a right hand. Again, Nick Lentz looking for the takedown, but Narimani's doing a good job of trying to push the pace. Lentz with another takedown to secure that first round, like it was even a question. Yeah, definitely 10-9 Nick Lentz as looking to shortening the range here. If Narimani can catch him with a strike, that's pretty much his only chance. It looks like, oh, there we go. There's a cut underneath the eye of Nick Lentz after the jab and a straight right. There's another jab and a straight right. A nice little 1-2 here from Narimani, but another takedown attempt that's probably not going to get stuffed. Yep, it's a single leg. And now Narimani's going to get stuck against the ground. Probably, oh, there's some elbows, rather, from preventing the elbows, rather, from Nick Lentz, is leaning back up top. Doesn't want to get caught on the bottom. Here comes a scramble. See what happens here. I don't know, they're just going to stand him back up, rather. And then we're going to check on the cut. And then another fight ender. So we're back underway with about 40 seconds left. Nick Lentz is just looking for the takedown. Finally, Narimani stops it. Got him against the cage. And that will be the end of the second round. Yeah, Nick Lentz again, probably up 10-9. He needs a finish. Needs a finish. Nice that he got a cut, though, there in the second, so maybe he can eventually open that back up. But Nick Lentz looking for another takedown. It looks like he's kind of tired out because he's not getting these takedowns as freely as he was in the previous rounds. He stuffed the takedown. Now they're back standing. Is Narimani as a jab is wide, but he hits the right cross. Another takedown attempt. Can't get him down. He's just going for broke here. He's got the underhooks now. He's probably going to get that one. Yeah, Greco-Roman slam. As, ends up sitting. His legs trapped under Lentz with his back up against the cage. That's an interesting kind of position to be in for Narimani. Can't smother him against the cage. Yeah, several punches now. They're not going to do any damage. Nick Lentz fires away with punches again. Still trying to just fight him off here. Narimani just kind of surviving. Oh, looking for a guillotine now. And he's got it. Wow, what a finish for Nick Lentz, though. Gets the submission win right at the end of the round. At the 4:51 mark in the third round. Just 9 seconds left. He would have won the fight anyways. But it's nice to get a finish. It's rated decent, though. But yeah, that's pretty generous for how one-sided that was for Nick Lentz. We figured it was going to be one-sided, but at least Narimani gave it his all as far as stand-up-wise. Doing a pretty good job at piecing them up. But yeah, tough guy in Nick Lentz. Obviously ranked in that American Top Team. Bit of a problem. But thanks everyone connected to American Top Team for helping prepare for the fight, and the sponsors for supporting it financially. He also says if the fight gives a short respect to him. As our last prelim fight here. Angela over Kill Hill against Shockwave and our Cliffers. Now this one's going the distance. I'd be stunned if this gets finished. As Yamasaki's are free again. Ringside judges. As Hannah Cliffers, though, is the hometown favorite here from Oxford, North Carolina, 10-3. Both Muay Thai fighters, though, so at least it should be relatively easy for both girls to kind of be able to land their shots. 2 defensive jabs come, but with no power behind it at all, as Hill misses all the strikes in with a head kick attempt. Hill now pressuring Cliffers with a counter jab, a jab in a right hand. There's a left hand from Cliffers. There's a feint that leaves Cliffers vulnerable, as there's a fails final more jab that catches over the right hook. Now Cliffers looking for the clinch. Got her up against the cage. See what she's going to do, trying to get some dirty boxing going, but Angela Hill tries to get out of it, but again, got her up against the cage again. Hits her with a couple of short punches to the right side of the head. Again, trying to get some dirty boxing going up against the cage, but Angela Hill doing a good job of trying to get out of there. 3 quick punches, all of them landed on the roundhouse kick to the body. As Hill parries away the right head kick attempt, it counters with a quick left jab and a kick to the lead leg. Jab hits home from Hill, catches Cliffers with the right hook. 2 tentative left hands. Neither fighter really, neither of them have a lot of power, obviously at 115 pounds. We're not swinging for the fences, as Hill is moving in behind. 4 quick punches, all of them landing. Then a nice straight right hand. Minute left. Hill comes forward on the attack, counters jabs. Does Hannah Cliffers, lands a left jab but misses the big right hand. Cliffers trying to tempt Angela Hill into over pursuing as far as a strike and over committing and trying to get something going, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Hill doing a good job of keeping it simple. Left jab misses the big right hand. Does Cliffers, and yeah, Angela Hill 10-9. Yeah, that seems to be pretty. Because she definitely landed more strikes from what it seemed like to be. Yeah. We'll see, though. A lot can still happen, though. Hannah Cliffers, she starts off well in the second round. This might be a good little comeback for her. But a left hand from Hill, then a round kick to the body. Flurry of 3 punches. Lands all of them, scores the right cross. Yeah, Angela Hill doing a very, very good job. There's a powerful leg kick, though. Some good stuff. Yeah, it's just... she's opening her up now. There's a pair of jabs that misses but hits the right cross. Does Hannah Cliffers jab hits home, lands the right hand to the body. Yeah, this is definitely Hill's round to lose, which she looks like she has been in control with 5 quick punches and the right hook again. Jab and a right cross as well. There's a stunning right hook. Is she going to knock her out? Oh my gosh, she knocks her down in the second. looking to finish the fight here. She just might do it. Holy shit. Angela Hill actually finished the fight as she beats Hannah Clifford by TKO in the second round. What a win for Angela Hill. Tough break, though, for the hometown kid, as she just a little too much for her. It was Angela Hill. But a big win, though. Big win. As, Alliance MMA helping her for this fight, helping prepare for and for supporting her financially. Also gives her show respect to Hannah Clifford, says with the fight. Yeah, she's a pretty solid promo. You know, her and Jessica Penne have that little podcast. As Alex Perez and Jordan Espinosa onto the main card. You know, with these flyweights, 22-5, 14-6-1, no contest at relatively same age, relatively same height, and obviously both weighed in at 125. Kung Lee's, rather, as I don't know why I said Chung Lee. I got Street Fighter on the mind, but Kung Lee's MMA for Alex Perez, I'd say he's definitely the favorite. Hardines, though, however, freely touch gloves. Espinosa looking for the takedown. He's got it. It's a single leg. And now Alex Perez is going to get laid and braid on, looks like. Oh, there's Perez trying to get some punches down from the bottom. Yeah, again, just trying to lay on top of him. It's unfortunate that's happening, because other than these two kind of wrestle fuck fights where someone just lays and braids the whole time, we've had a pretty fun fight night. As jab lands from Perez, Espinosa steps back to avoid the high kick. Another takedown, 2 for 2 on takedowns, another lay and pray. Well, we know who won that round in Jordan Espinosa. Let's see what happens to the second. There's a nice jab and right cross. Two powerful straight right, or two left hands and then a powerful straight right. Ooh, that probably fucked up Perez more than anything. So now he's got probably a potential broken hand. Think that one will seal it for Alex Perez, unless he can knock him out with the other hand. Oh, he's looking for the takedown. He's got it. Look at this. Trying to pass. Can't pass, though. Trying to throw a few weak-looking punches now. Trying to transition the guard. Not happening. Trying to sweep, but he can't do it. Perez with one hand might just win this round. Pushing him down. Fires away with some right hands. There's a nice job of floating over and taking us back. If you can get the... he's got... he stands him up, rather. That is interesting. Espinosa was able to do that while having Perez on his back. But he's looking to take him right back down. He does so. It's a short struggle, but he just can't stop him. And ends up being on his hands and knees above his Perez and pounding away, but can't really do anything. As Espinosa scrambling back up, might be another takedown. Can't do it, though. That's a good block from Espinosa. Yeah, 10-9 for Perez. It comes down to this final round. Winner of this one wins the fight, as Perez managed to get control of the clinch, trying to get him up against the rope. Or, he did it again, against the cage. Got him against the cage. Does a good job of Perez, though, to come back here. Grueling grappling contest has 30 seconds seized. Both fighters leaving, not any chance to work with. Perez doing a good job, though. Keeping control. You know that you gotta win this. You gotta win this round. Both guys gotta win this round. They're kind of going for broke here. They're not trying to catch themselves. But Herbean's going to separate him with 2 minutes left. See what happens. They clinch again. Perez has the advantage. Trying to get him against the ropes again. Espinosa out-wrestles him. If somebody can get a takedown here, that will be massive. But Perez is too good to stay on his back against the cage. Trying to do it, but Espinosa again reverses it. Boy, this was a bit of a back-and-forth third round. And we'll see what happens. As far as it looked like Perez won the round. I think Perez won 2-1. Yeah. Should be 29-28 Perez. Yeah. Good call. Way to go, judges. Sucks that was an average fight, but what a comeback, though, for Alex Perez. Potentially won with a broken hand. Just out-wrestled him there in the second and the third. That was a hell of a comeback, because it was not looking good. Espinosa had a great game plan in that first round, but could not keep him down for the rest of the fight. Perez thanks all of his sponsors, all of his fans as well, and showing respect. He praises Espinosa for his skill and toughness. As Josh Emmett against Arnold Almighty Allen. As Josh Emmett, 15-2, 15-1 for Arnold Allen. Boxing, wrestling background team, or as far as team alpha male for Josh Emmett, and TriStar Gym for Arnold Allen. Minus 300 favorite for the rising prospect. I wouldn't even say a prospect anymore. The rising fucking up the rankings, Arnold Allen. Mazzagati's referee, ringside judges, here we go. As moving in, Allen looking to get some grappling started, but doesn't want to get as far as he's not. He's willing to get hit, if that means getting close up to grapple with him. There's a nice one, too. Allen was equal to it, though. Allen's able to grab him, looking for the slam. He fucking slams him. Oh, the leg lock, though. See what happens. Emmett blocks it. That would have been nuts. To get a slam into a leg lock. Oh, and he's got side control, does Arnold Allen. Boy, oh boy, some knee strikes now. He's got a good job as far as unbalancing him, so there's not really power behind it. Now looking for the arm bar. That gets stopped. Looking for the Kimura. He taps him out. Jesus Christ. Yeah, good luck, featherweights. Fucking savage. Absolute savage. Thanks everyone connected to TriStar Gym for helping prepare for the fight and sponsors for supporting him financially. Does Arnold Allen at 16-1. A legend already in the making. Lena, Elbow, Queen Lansberg, and Sarah McMann. Minus 300 favorite for the Muay Thai fighter. 11-5 for Sarah McMann, the wrestling. As far as background for her team, Alpha Male. No team, though, for Linda Lansberg. It does not matter. I think this is definitely grappler versus striker, and we're open for the striker, you know, as far as just for the exciting portion of the card. Yamasaki's our referee. Ringside judges, here we go. Round 1, and McMann looking for the takedown. Already gets stopped into her hands and knees, and there's several big-time shots here. Is Yamasaki going to let her just get destroyed? Finally pulls her off. Well, what a fast fight that was in 50 seconds. Lena Lansberg making quick work of Sarah McMann, and that will probably be her last fight in the UFC for Sarah McMann. But yeah, she's, Lena Lansberg is a savage. Absolute savage. And there's name checks all of our sponsors off, and thanks all of our fans who turn out to support her. Invites everyone to a post-show winners party at a local club celebrating her win, and she is a savage in there. But Rafael dos Anjos against Michael Maverick Chiesa as the co-main event is set to be a barn burn. It's crazy that he's a minus 500 favorite in Rafael dos Anjos. I think it's a little closer than that, but we'll see. Evolve MMA for Rafael dos Anjos. No team for Chiesa at 6'1", 170. You know, pretty big is Michael Chiesa. Mazzagatti, our referee again. Fight begins, they touch gloves. Looking into shortening the range here is as far as is Dos Anjos. He's doing a good job there with a nice jab and a straight left hand. Already cut him up with that left hand. Of course, a right jab and a big left that's avoided by Chiesa. Just a southpaw, so tough to deal with. There's a crunching left hook. Nice jab and a right cross, or left cross rather. Again, southpaw coming in strong as using the jab while backing away. Boy, oh boy, yeah, Rafael dos Anjos being just too much for him right now. If Chiesa can get him on the ground, I would say that's more of his game plan, but Rafael dos Anjos is a bit of a savage on the ground as well. I would definitely say his stand-up is more appealing at 170. There's not a lot of guys that could hit as hard as him, but that might be what he needs. Oh, he catches him with a left head kick. I'm going to stop to take a look at the cut. Not a problem, so back underway. Jab and a low kick to the legs. Does Dos Anjos doing a good job of trying to change as far as course of action. Looking at every point of the body as there's 3 flurry punches into a left head kick again. Boy, Michael Chiesa, I don't know what he's got going on game plan-wise because he is just getting fucked up more than anything. There's a jab that can't connect, but a left cross that lands hard. I mean, this has been all Dos Anjos. Crazy. And he's just landing shots and landing shots at this rate in Chiesa, because I'm just there. Another reopening that cut does Dos Anjos. I'm surprised those head kicks haven't rocked him. Yeah, I mean, if he landed anything, they were just jabs. Yeah, just Dos Anjos already up, obviously 10-9 there, and Cutman looking to stop the cut as it lands the jab, then hits him with a leg kick. Those leg kicks have been fucking him up. Another slithering kick to the legs. Cannot separate jab. There's a left cross. I'm going to shout out Chiesa for hanging in there, though, I guess, but he slowed him down just from taking a beating, as he's still going, though, so with some more leg kicks and some jabs. Still, Chiesa just trying to land jabs. Boy, these strikes are just pounding away. Here's Rafael dos Anjos. This is nuts. Another high left head kick. Still can't rock him. Jab is wide, and hits him with a leg kick. There's another left head kick. God damn. There's a nice jab and another low kick. Yeah, about to say he can barely walk now. He's been getting fucked up. Chiesa trying to tempt him into a reckless strike. I don't think it's going to happen. He is pretty locked in. Oh my god. Just a brutal game plan. Oh, well, Chiesa caught him. Let's see what we're going to do with this takedown. I can't even take him down. Yeah, this was definitely all Rafael dos Anjos. The minus 500 betting line was accurate. Yeah, 10-9 again. Yeah, Chiesa's going to have to go for broke, and he hasn't really done jack shit this whole fight, so Good luck with that. Jab lands, straight left as well. They're looking for a finish, but I don't think it's going to happen. The way this fight has been going, he just keeps on ticking, is Michael Chiesa, but there's a jab and a body kick. Another jab and a body kick, struggling to move around here. There's a left cross. He can barely walk in Michael Chiesa. There's a jab that's wide, another straight left. Left cross now. Surprised Dos Anjos just hasn't even just stopped doing anything. Like, he's just been full tilt for about 15 minutes now. Chiesa catches that kick. Let's see if he can take him down. Still can't get him down, but he's got him against the cage, potentially. Oh, yep, Rafael Dos Anjos gets out of that. So, yeah. Completely one-sided was this affair. Oh, Chiesa, though, looking for the takedown. Still can't take him down. Brilliant sprawl. Right jab and a straight left. Unreal. Unreal. Well, GG's to Michael Chiesa, because that was just all, yeah. 30-26 is pretty accurate. I know a 10-8 round, the 10-8 round is pretty rare, especially for not having a knockdown. But that was so one-sided, it was fucking nuts. Nuts to see. Yeah, 16-5 for Chiesa, 30-12 for Dos Anjos. Good luck. Good luck at everybody at 170, because he is a fucking problem and a half. As he's praised his team at Evolve MMA, as all of his favorite sponsors as well. We're already at the main event. After that just slew of first-round finishes in the prelims, the main card kind of slowed down a little bit. Maybe we'll get it back up here with this main event with Razor Blaydes and Junior Dos Santos, 21-6, 12-2-1, no contest. He is the favorite, is Junior Dos Santos. Team Nogueira, Elevation Fight Team for Curtis Blaydes, both at 6'4", but 265 though at Razor Blaydes. I think that weight event is going to be pretty big for him. Herb Dean's our referee, ringside judges. Yeah, got at least close to 30 pounds on him, this Razor Blaydes, and they move and engage. They're doing a good job as Dos Santos. The Brazilians are out today, that is for sure, in the main and co-main. Jab is wide, catches him with a low kick. Counter left hand from Blaydes. Left jab and a right hook. Stepping out of the pocket, he doesn't connect with the jab and lands the right hand again. Beautiful straight right. Dos Santos just attacking with intent with these strikes. And there's another counter left hand from Blaydes. Lands the left hand, gives him the right hook. I mean, the way this is going, Dos Santos is probably going to knock him out. There's a counter jab from Blaydes. A flurry of 5 punches from Santos. Sees 4 of them land, but the last one, Blaydes avoids. Nice little 1-2 from Dos Santos, finding his way past his opponent's guard. He's off target with the left jab. It's a good right hand. Connects the jab, misses the low kick. Yeah, Junior Dos Santos there, 10-9. For sure, second round. Exchange of strikes happens right in the center of the ring. Nothing comes of it, though. Exchange of strikes doesn't produce anything. Dos Santos is already slowing down. This should be where Curtis Blaydes can come in and start wrestle fucking him, but it hasn't happened yet. Still has been striking. Has Dos Santos. Yeah, right hand of the body, just a little too short. It's slipping past the right hook. Blaydes misses the left hand in the exchange. Is a nice left hand and a straight right. They meet in the center again. And they engage as Dos Santos doesn't connect with a single punch out of a flurry. And doesn't connect with the right hand. And there's a jab and can't hit the right cross from Blaydes. They meet in the center. Missing the right cross. Here comes the counter. Quick left jab and a left to the body. Go for a takedown. I'm backing you, Curtis Blaydes. If you want to win this fight, you gotta go for it. Because you're not going to outstrike Junior Dos Santos. Oh, there we go. There's the takedown. There we go. Well, you listened. Just going to slip away here this time. Passing by Junior Dos Santos. I think it was a little too soon for that takedown. Or a little too late, rather, for Curtis Blaydes. I don't know. That was a tough round because he really did nothing off the takedown. But he did get it. He did get it. It was relatively close. You know, just for the sake of having an exciting third round, let's go 1-1. Let's have Blaydes win the second. We'll see. They engage, though. Dos Santos hits their jab, doesn't find the mark on the right hook. As I said, left jab from Curtis Blaydes and connects with a head kick as well. Here comes a left hook. Oh, he's left exposed after the missed right hook into the ribs and gets countered with a left cross. Blaydes is doing a good job with the counter strikes, though. This has been interesting. If he can get a takedown here, he might just steal this one. And dodging the right hand, here comes a counterattack with a jab, left jab and a big right hand that just misses. But again, Curtis Blaydes, quit trying to outstrike Junior Dos Santos. It's not going to work. Oh, there we go. Looking from the grapple here. Looking to smother him, potentially up against the cage. You're doing a good job. It's Curtis Blaydes. If he can take him down, he's got him against the cage. Short left uppercut. Knee strike to the thigh. He's got a minute left. Gonna just keep on pounding away. Terrible idea. It should be 2-1 Blaydes as far as we'll see if they go with it. They're going to go with Dos Santos on 29-28. I think that's a mistake. We'll see. But, we still have the 4th and 5th round, of course, because it is a non-title. Well, it is just a main event, so anyways, it's a 5-round fight anyways. So Dos Santos looking to make a comeback here. We'll see. Blaydes with 2 left hands to exchange. There's a left hand and a beautiful straight right. Strike exchange, jab hits in exchange. There's a quick 1-2. Doesn't hit either of the punches, though. Now Blaydes is getting tired. Left jab and a right hand that's blocked. That's the one bad thing about heavyweight main events. If it goes past the 3rd round, you're kind of just going on an empty gas tank. Stalking forward is Dos Santos trying to pressure Blaydes. Now in the pocket. There's a jab. It misses the vicious right hand. Yeah, there's no way Dos Santos is going to be able to finish this fight. I really don't think it's going to happen. Blaydes should be able to take him down here, but he's going to keep him up against the cage. Get him with a short left uppercut now. Looking for the takedown. Yeah, he's got it. Sweeps him down. Takes the back two. Got both hooks in. That should be all she wrote, and it is. Curtis Blaydes. What a win. What a win. Easy money, though. I mean, a plus 110 underdog. Yeah, that was a fun main event, though. That was a nice little comeback for Curtis Blaydes. Dos Santos just a little too tired, at the end. I think at 35, the stamina's not there anymore. Yeah, can't really... Yeah, I think he would have... If this was just a 3-round fight as well, I think Curtis Blaydes would have won by decision. But according to the little play-by-play, though, they thought it was 29-28 Dos Santos going into the 3rd. Or going into the 4th, rather. But Blaydes, he's a name checked him at an Elevation Fight Team. All of his sponsors, all of his friends, famous sports. It gives a show respect to Junior Dos Santos, one tough son of a bitch. That is Dos Santos. Critical rating, though, 70. Commercial rating, 83, of course, because it's a fight night. We wanted to, make it kind of represent what a fight night usually is. We'll see how much money we made. Oh, we did pretty well as far as the population. Q. Sick. Oh, yeah, Curtis Blaydes getting a lot of love. Yeah, we'll give him a performance bonus as well. I'll tell you what, Dos Santos, he was a fucking savage, though, today. I don't think we're going to give it to him, though, because it was pretty one-sided. Arnold Allen, though, we're going to give a performance bonus because he destroyed Josh Emmett. It was not close. Oh, yeah, that'll probably be it. I don't know, I do love the Herbert Burns comeback was fun. Yeah, 3 submissions in a row, though, was pretty rare to see. It's great that the prelims, though. I mean, that prelim was really, really fun. Really, really fun to see. And we'll see how much money we make off of this. Oh, we made a couple $100,000. Not too bad. I think for the fight night, so we probably should have kept it at $50,000. That's kind of a thing we should probably look for more. But hey, it's nice that Dos Santos and Dos Santos and a lot of guys made over 100,000. Well, only 2 guys made over 100,000, but a nice little 5-figure payday though for most of the fighters. Poor Angela Hill only made $2 grand. Brutal. Oh my God, Jordan Espinosa he made $840. That is just brutal. But that will do it for episode 2. The fight night card has come and gone. Blaydes winning the main event. And a hell of a comeback, though, after that first round. And the next card, of course, for episode 3 will be the the pay-per-view of Dominic Reyes versus John Bones Jones. He now undefeated John Jones as we've changed his record, thanks to the rule change. As far as I still think he lost that fight because he was disqualified because as far as Mario Yamasaki forgot Matt Hamill was deaf and was asking him, hey, do you give up? As he's taking a pounding and not stepping in to stop the fight. That will always be a thing that I will believe. So he shouldn't have even been disqualified to begin with because the fight should have been ended way before that. But yeah, I mean, for this episode, that was a lot of fun. That was actually a really fun fight night. The big thing, though, is kind of getting our our monies for sure. Because we're doing all right. I think we would have made a little bit more money this past pay-per-view, but obviously Conor McGregor's contract was just outrageous with the bonuses, because the actual fight pay itself is accurate. He was making around 2.9, 2.8 million per fight with that new contract he signed after... Oh, that was before the Khabib fight, actually, when he signed that extension. But the rest of the bonuses are pretty outrageous, but it is what it is. Yeah, he's going to leave Arizona Combat Sports. Is Michael Chiesa. I think that's the right call, because he got fucking destroyed. But yeah, UFC 247, Jon Jones, Dominic Reyes, of course. In real life, Dominic Reyes won that fight on the scorecard. That was the first time the UFC had been to Houston, and boy, those judges were all over the place that card. That was quite the shit show and a half. There was There was a fight that was it the Moreno Diego Lima fight? There was one of those fights in the prelims where it was, I had it like 30-27. And they went the complete opposite way. Like, it was crazy. They had no idea what the fuck they were doing. But hopefully it's going to be a fun card, though. Derek Lewis and Walt Harris. This was scheduled for this. I believe something happened to where... I think it was because Walt Harris, I think, unfortunately, his stepdaughter, had passed away a couple of months before that. And obviously wanted to give him time. But Cheeto... Marlon Vera on the fight card as well against Jimmy Rivera. I want to say that also was scheduled, but something happened to where either Cheeto was hurt or Jimmy Rivera was hurt, where they couldn't have that fight. But that should be a fun main event, though. And Dominic Reyes and Jon Jones. We'll see if Reyes has as good of a outing as he did in real life. Because, I mean, I had it 3-2 Jones. I had him winning the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But I know a lot of people had it 3-2, with Reyes winning rounds 1, 2, and 3. In 4 or 5 for Jon Jones. But those championship rounds are huge, though. Winning those is massive. Massive indeed. But we'll see. Should be a fun fight, though. I think Dominic Reyes matches up pretty well with Jon Jones as far as physically. We'll see how he does in that fight, though, in our next episode. As well, catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone.